You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secured. Extraction complete. Intelligence system analytic computer is activated. All ISAC systems are confirmed online. Data scanned. Downloading files.
What's up, guys? You listen to episode 61 of SitRep Radio, giving you the news and other happenings in the world of The Division. And this week it's all about rewarding players with some awesome loot from the upcoming events that will be introduced in 1.7. But first, my name is Mike, and joining me is my co-host, Robert.
Hello.
And yes, unfortunately, Luke is still out on holiday at the minute. From what I hear, he's having a really good time, sunning it up over in the Dominican Republic. And yeah, so it's going to be like the old days this week, Rob.
Yeah.
Before
old
Luke.
School.
More reading for you?
Yeah. Oh, damn. I hadn't thought about that.
Have we got a chance of hearing the birds outside your window this week? Because it's been pretty damn hot, hasn't it?
Yeah. I haven't really done any much gaming this week because, like, playing PlayStation in my bedroom heats up my room, like, quite significantly. And I didn't want to do that because it was so hot already. It's been, like, torture in England at the moment.
Yeah. I've been spending work in 30 degrees heat and
I have
sweating.
aircon at work, so I'm okay.
We both work at the same place, so work that out. Obviously, somebody's got more priority than others.
Yeah, clearly.
What have I been up to this week? I played a little bit of Division. I didn't get a chance to play any of the events over the weekend, which would have been nice. I wish they'd give us a little bit of lead time on those like weekend events, because it was like literally a day. It was like, there you go, guys.
Oh, I did play a bit of PC on that though, because I'm still
did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I'm still trying to like build my stashes up on PC because I've got a fairly good build, but it's just not. It needs min-maxing.
Yeah. Obviously Luke's away on holiday. You've been too hot, so I've done a little bit of gaming this week. I've been playing Zelda. There's like a survival mode on Zelda on an island that I took like a day to freaking get past, which other people can probably do really quick. And yeah, it took me a day, but I did it finally. And I jumped on Bloodborne. What day are we on? Tuesday. So I booted up Bloodborne. Huge fan of the Dark Souls franchise. I've had Bloodborne sitting there since January, but just before the release of The Division. And I finally played it. And man, did I get my ass handed to me for that night. And then I went back on Wednesday. And I freaking like kicked ass and killed 2 bosses. So really enjoying that at the minute. I think that's it.
No Overwatch this week?
No. It's been really busy over the weekend. I can't remember what we did. But,
well, we got drunk, dude.
We got absolutely trashed Saturday night.
Yeah.
It was a good night.
Yeah, really good.
Didn't end badly, apart from the taxi home was sketchy as hell. And I thought we were going to die.
I kind of fell asleep a little bit, so don't remember much of that.
I couldn't fall asleep. I was in the front. I had to direct the guy.
I do remember you telling him to slow down.
Yeah, well, when he's doing like 70 miles an hour, trying to do 70 miles an hour around a bend, I'm like, please slow down, because you don't know where we're going. Because he's asking me for directions. Anyway, enough of that crap. I think that's all the news, isn't it? Oh, shout out to Cal4K for winning our Dark Zone Challenge from last week. You will have a mug heading to you, I think, next week.
He's got 2 mugs now. Well,
yeah, he's got 2.
Mugs.
A Wookiee plays on Twitter, and Cal4K were basically competing against each other. They did really well. I can't remember what Cal came in at, but I know it was like 240 something over that, if not more.
Wow.
It was a lot. More than you and me did on that, what was it, Thursday, Friday?
I did like one day. Because like by the time I had even started, he had already hit like 100. So it's just like, kind of, there's no point. Is it? I might as well just not bother.
Yeah. But thank you to everybody that did take part. I think if I would have thought about it a bit more, I think maybe named bosses were a little bit more difficult. Maybe go with tracked, like, what was it, just elites or something?
Well, it was our first DZ challenge, so, you know, trial and error, dude.
Yeah, we need some more leaderboards, don't we? We need, like, rogues killed for the week or something else, maybe. But NPC, just like a general NPC leaderboard tally would be quite nice. Then we can go off that, maybe. Trying to think what else. I don't think there's any more news, is there?
Nah.
Off from us. Apart from the fact I'm feeling pretty old today.
Oh, yeah. Although when this comes out yesterday, so yesterday was Mike's birthday, but it's, as we're recording, it's today, just to be really confusing.
Yeah.
How old are you, Mike?
I'm 30 today. The best.
Wow, the big 3-0.
I'm catching up to you.
You'll never catch me up, dude.
I'll never catch either of my co-hosts up. They're both older than me. Yes. Anyway, let's get down to some Division news.
State of the game.
So, big news this week on the State of the Game, and we're pretty much going to get straight into it. So, the guys, Hamish, because Hamish was the only person there this week, as Yannick is out of the office. I did see a photo of him on Twitter in the background of a bus. I think it must be like a Ubisoft day trip somewhere.
No, he's clearly on holiday with Luke somewhere. They've gone away at both at the same time. It's kind of sketchy.
He could have told us, you know. We didn't get that invite, did we?
No.
From either Yannick or Luke. God damn it. But yeah, Hamish was joined by the guys over at Red Storm Studios in North Carolina, who are Terry and Keith. If you've seen them before in the State of the Game, they're pretty awesome dudes. And pretty sure most of us would be pretty hyped to see that the hot topic of this week was Keith sporting a new haircut.
Yeah, he looked awesome.
That's what everybody sat down to watch the State of the Game for. And also, I think Terry Spear brought probably the biggest mug I've ever seen.
I know. Like the first time I saw it on the like Hamish didn't even react. I was just like, how can you not react to that?
It was bigger than his head.
I want one. Where did he buy it from? Let me know.
Yeah, Terry, if you're listening, let us know where you got it from. But yeah, don't nerf the mug. It's not OP. And other little bit of news from this week's State of the Game. We found out Hamish's favorite prehistoric creature.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
We have to watch the State of the Game to find out what it is, because I'm not going to tell you.
So you can't remember, isn't it?
I can remember. It starts with an M. I can remember because of Terry's Cup, if anybody has watched the State of the Game. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get down to some proper news. Huge news in the State of the Game this week, isn't it, Rob?
Yes. Tell us what it is.
A bit more exciting than last week, would we say?
Yeah. Just explain it to me. Pretend that I didn't watch the State of the Game. I did, but just pretend.
I reckon you're lying.
No, I did. I definitely did.
No, I know you've watched it, dude, because you quoted things back to me in chat earlier. But yeah, as most of you may have heard, basically today's State of the Game was about rewards that will be coming from global events. And for those that have heard about global events, you will have realized that you will be getting caches that are being able to earn through tokens that can be earned over a week when these global events go live. So basically, during a global event, you'll be able to earn tokens that can be used to buy caches from a vendor that will be coming in update 1.7. And there's basically multiple tiers of caches. I think we found a little bit more about these caches today, because they said, like, what was it, lower caches, you could pretty much just get anything. But higher tier caches, you're pretty much guaranteed one of these classified gear sets.
I wouldn't say guaranteed. I think it's a higher chance.
hell of a higher chance, should we say. But yeah, classified gear. First thoughts, Rob?
Awesome.
Yeah?
They basically increased the gear score without increasing the gear score. It's very clever if you think about it.
Yes. Unfortunately, I think there's a couple of episodes we've been talking about this now. We were wrong.
What?
And shout out to Rampancy as well over on Bombshell Jackets. Unfortunately, it sounds like it's not going to be a smartwatch.
No, it was
or a tactical cod piece.
Yeah, a cod piece with a watch on it. The time on it.
If you haven't listened to that episode, go check it out on Bombshell Jackets. Or last week. But yeah, Rob, how are we actually able to obtain these classified gear pieces?
Well, they'll drop during the global events, right?
Yeah.
And it's only 3 sets per global event.
Yeah, can you remember which ones are coming with the first event?
Final Measure, Deadeye, and Lone Star.
God, look at you on point today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, this is very, very interesting. Like you said, like we're not actually, I think it's pretty much been confirmed, we're not getting a gear score increased in 1.7.
No.
So these will actually like directly add to it.
Yes, but they all have very good rolls. Is that right? Or they've got higher main stats. They went through like the stat system. And I didn't really understand. I need to read up on that. Like I didn't really understand what they meant. Like you can have, I think, maybe 2 main stats on one item. Is that
well,
right?
basically they said that, what was it? A piece of classified gear piece will at least start at 1272, the max roll. So it's already going to improve your build. But you could get, it was like up to 1300. I think they're still playing around with the actual, like the final max roll of these gear pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, you're going to be able to reroll 2 of the stats, whereas like you can only reroll 1 stat on normal pieces of gear sets. So you'll be able to reroll an electronics, I don't know, Deadeye to firearms, and then depending what gear piece it is, you can go in and change one of the minor attributes as well, which is really cool, because how many times have we actually wanted that?
Yeah, I'm still not clear on like the rules of it, but I'm sure it will become apparent to me.
Yeah, I mean, they made it pretty clear. It's gonna, they're not going to add another color system because it'd be hell for the UI team. I think the main thing to take away from this is, obviously, you're going to have to farm for them, but the whole reason that we're getting these classified gear pieces is obviously not only to increase the max roll of your gear pieces, but also they're going to have like a special bonus for 5-piece sets and 6-piece gear sets.
Which you've been screaming for months.
Yeah, I think I'm still in shock. I'm still taking all of this in, because it was like 45-minute stream today. I think it's like the longest one they've done in a couple of months now. And it's definitely, I don't know. I'd be very interested to see what Luke would say about this, but I can't because he's not here and he doesn't want to Skype in. Son of a bitch. I love him, dude. But yeah, I think that's it. Is there anything else really to talk about with those?
Well, 5 and 6 piece bonuses. Yeah, you have to have all classified gear to get those 5 and 6 pieces, which means you're going to be like, it's
farming them.
Yeah, it's actually really clever, because it still means that you can use your exotics. I'm just interested on whether they're going to increase like the stat roll on certain exotics. I don't know.
I don't reckon they will. I could be completely wrong. I think one thing, obviously, if you run 5-piece and 6-piece, you have to farm the shit out of those. What's the one thing like we've been screaming for? Like when Iron Banner rolls around in Destiny, what's the one thing that we've been screaming for in this game? Can you remember?
No.
Like when Iron Banner rolls around, I was 9 times out of 10 there's like an OP weapon for the month, isn't there? That'll turn up. And
they tend to give you a god roll of certain things. Yeah.
Right, I felt this was, and it's such a good, and this is what I really like about this, is the fact that we're going to have a global event across everything that's PvE, so anybody can play it, that will give you a chance at boosting your current builds, only, obviously across like the three sets that drop that month. But I think, I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure they said on the stream though that you can earn like a full set, I'm guessing, or as many pieces as possible throughout the week. So you have to like farm the shit out of it for like a week, to get like, you might just want to focus on Lone Star or Final Mesh. Obviously, if you get decent bits, you're going to keep them anyway. But I think after the week's up, what they were on about doing is putting the classified gear pieces out into the world.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
That's awesome. Yeah, but the thing is, they're going to be as rare as exotics, aren't they? So, well, maybe a little bit less rare because exotics are stupidly rare. That's awesome because they're basically rolling out a new gear score without increasing the gear score, and they're doing it slowly, so you can only get 3 sets at a time. So yeah, it's brilliant. It's genius.
Yeah. I don't know if I like the idea of, I really like, obviously we don't know what's going to happen in year 3 or anything like that. It's going to be happening once a month or maybe sooner, like these global events, which will therefore earn the caches and get the classified pieces of gear. But I really liked, they have, I feel like there's like this tendency to like put like exotics, for example. Exotics, when they got added to the game, fucking awesome. Barrett's chest, you have to go farm the shit out of like one area, and then they're for sale in the vendor permanently. I think like they should have like a timed thing if you're going to do like a vendor selling exotics. But like with this, for me, having it drop any like after the event is over, as much as I love that idea, it's like I've just played Overwatch for 2 weeks and I was after like a specific skin. I think it was like the Bastion skin. And the only way to get it is to either buy the shit out of a load of loot boxes, or you basically play the shit out of the game to get it. And I didn't get it. I got everything but, unfortunately. But that's it. The event's over, and I'll probably never. I don't know if I'll be able to get that skin, if that makes sense. And to me, it would have been really cool if they were like, you have a week to get this, and you're not able to access it again till the global event comes around.
Oh no, that would piss off a lot of people.
I'm sure it would. I know it's probably
okay with the skin. I understand that with the skin, but with a gear set that could potentially make you OP in the game, no.
Yeah. When I think about it with gear sets,
that would piss off a lot of people.
But then you're going to have the following month, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? 4 weeks, you'd have another event and be like, well, I fucked up on this one. I need to go and chase.
You mean like how Banner, like, they do 2 weapons every time, and if you missed, like, they did, there was a certain pulse rifle in year 2 that was in the first week of Iron Banner of the year 2, and it was really, really good. Like, it was shit hot for about 6 months, and that was the only time you could get it.
Yeah. I think the only problem with that idea, with that, like, that suggestion, that, like, it's not even criticizing it. It's just, it feels like they go so far to adding something that is like, this is hard to obtain. You've got a global event, you have to play it for a week, but then afterwards you'll catch it in the game, which I can understand. I completely understand that, and I can understand why they're doing it. because you want to appease all your, all the players, and I'm guessing you've got a better chance of getting it in that first week of the global event, and then you've still got a chance of getting it in the coming weeks. And I'm guessing the only problem with actually having like a rolling, just leaving it in these global events, is you're going to be waiting how long for each gear set to cycle through, if you know what I mean. There's so many gear sets in the game. That's, I'm guessing, what the main problem is. If you only had like 4 to 6 gear sets, sorry, then it wouldn't be such a problem, would it?
No.
Because it'd be rolling over a 2-3 month period. So you'd be like, well, I missed this last month. I need to get this month, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think that's
or
my
if it was a week to week basis, like they do with the raids on Destiny. Like if it was every week you had a chance to do certain events, and that would give you that gear set. That would
maybe
work.
that's, well, obviously we got a PTS coming, so it can be added to that. I guess we're gonna maybe find. It might be a really good question to ask the guys over at Ubisoft Division Forums to find out, like, outside of the global events, where are these going to drop? Like whether they're going to drop in like legendary missions. I'm guessing they are. Obviously these things we're gonna find out in the coming weeks, I'm guessing, but like if they're going to drop from like incursions, or it's going to be PvE content. But I mean, I know it sounds like I'm hating on it. I love the idea of these classified gear sets. It feels like you putting something really cool in there. There's like, you've got to fight your ass off for like a week, or it would be cool if they extended it for 2 weeks. But I don't know. It's just me. I think I'm the only one like not complaining about it, but with that thought in mind, I guess. Because I mean, you're happy with that, aren't you, man?
Yeah, I think what they're doing is very clever. It's going to make people want to play the game, like every time they bring out a new event. So it's going to keep people coming back.
Right. Okay. So enough about that. I think the only thing we haven't mentioned is really just the fact that the classified gear sets, for those that you don't know, the 5 and 6 piece bonuses will basically, it's basically like an addition to the gear set, what's already on the gear set.
Yeah, 5 piece is going to buff your 2 and 3 pieces, and 6 is going to buff your 4 piece, isn't it? Or
yes, so
for it slightly, I don't know.
Yeah, so for example, they said on the state of the game, Reclaimer. So if you have a 6-piece gear set of Reclaimer, the 6-piece bonus will give you a chance that the cooldown of the support station will basically be able to drop instantly after you've already dropped one. Is that right?
Yeah, as soon as it blows up, you can drop another one.
Yeah. Trying to think what else we had. Lone Star isn't going to change much. I think obviously you're going to get the weapon reload. They've also gone on and said that there's going to be like a berserk bonus, which is basically a damage buff, which once you switch weapons, it gives you like
a chance to get the buff.
Get a damage buff. The berserk buff is like a damage buff, but you have to switch. It only occurs once you switch weapons. Is that right?
Yeah, it increases the rate of fire as well. I think that's
pretty cool. Obviously, everybody's loving Deadeye at the minute.
That's getting a little nerf, they said.
Yeah. In the upcoming PTS, I really like what they're trying to do with Deadeye. It feels like, because I said to you, was it last week or the week before? It was like I've seen it in a few instances where I've been shot with a Deadeye build like 3 foot in front of me. And I mean, they're trying to change it so it's more tactical. You have to be at range to actually get like the one shot kills, which I think is what it should be. If you're able if you're in the background hiding, whatever, there's not many people that do this. So yeah, I've kind of lost where I was on that. But
To be a Deadeye player, you now have to be a lot more tactical, I guess.
yeah, I mean, that's one thing.
You're not going to be able to 3-tap people when you're out of cover, so it's going to be good. I think.
So instead of SA, we're going to need TA.
What's TA?
Tactical awareness.
Oh. Touche.
But yeah, I mean the changes they're bringing to Deadeye, you'll only get the 100% crit chance buff, which you now currently get a 100% crit chance buff when aiming down the sight. Yeah, but you're only actually going to get that in cover now. Out of cover, you're pretty much getting about half to 60% or something like that.
And sorry.
No, go on, man.
They also said they were going to rebalance the SVD because it's stupidly stable.
Yeah. Back in the M1A days when everybody was using that one, was it the purple one from the vendor?
Yeah.
I think I've still got that somewhere as well. No? I think the only thing I'd kind of like for that is make it so you if people don't get along with cover, so you have to be in cover, make it so you have to be at a certain range from the player you're trying to hit. If that makes sense. That would still be better. So you get like 100% crit chance buff when you're at like, I don't know, 30 meters away. I think that's an alternative, I guess.
Yeah.
Just an idea. Striker, was there any thoughts on Striker? I know it was mentioned on the stream.
They didn't say what the 6-piece was, but they did say that it was OP and they're reworking it.
They're definitely adding it to the game.
Yeah.
No. It's going to be removed. Well, not removed, but they're going to definitely work on that through the PTS.
The Sentry sounds interesting as well. I want to know what they're going to do with the tacticians. I want to know specifics.
What have you? Well, I take it we're going to hear some more news next week on what's going to happen with the other gear sets as we start heading towards PTS 1.7. Any ideas of what they might do with TAC?
No, I'm stumped. I don't know what they're going to do unless they just increase that 30% to something. I guess I don't know.
Well, you get skill haste from it, don't you? Is it TAC set? You get skill haste.
Yeah, that's your 2-piece bonus.
Trying to think what the 3-piece and 4-piece.
The 3-piece is 15% skill power. 4-piece you get
the ongoing skill
stacks,
buff. Yeah,
up to 30%, which means they're probably just going to increase that, I guess. I don't know, but 5-piece will be interesting. 5-piece tack is going to be good because it's going to buff your 2 and 3-piece, so it's going to be easier to hit 50% skill haste, I guess. Don't know.
That'd be pretty good in PvE situations, wouldn't it? So you basically make it, and then I'm hoping. Obviously, we've had a bit of a NPC buff, but I don't know if that was meant to be or not. We don't know, do we?
No.
I don't think it was ever meant to be. If it has happened, then it went under the radar. But like something like this that changed, like you said, like a 50% skill haste, obviously additional skill power. That would be awesome for a healer in like legendary missions or lost signal, like for PvE, like helping players get through that, and I guess making it a little bit more fun. What did they say about Sentry? What was the actual the major bonus for Sentry?
You can get 6 stacks instead of 3 stacks on the headshots, and it spreads. It has a chance to spread over the nearby targets, which is just PvE gold, isn't it? That's just awesome. You're going to want a Sentry on your team when you're doing like legendaries and stuff.
I still want to see if that's any good in PvP. I'm very interested to see how that plays out.
I don't think it would. It's because the chances of you getting 6 headshots without killing the person, unless you like with a sniper, it's going to be unless you use an MDR, I guess. But then even that, I don't know.
I think before we move on, just discuss Final Measure. Final Measure, the only thing with the 6-piece bonus, I really thought they were going to come out and say, hey, you're going to get defense against Seekers or skills, like offensive skills. I thought that would have been kind of cool. So like you don't diffuse it, but maybe you limit some of the damage from the Seekers. So if you've got like a 4-man team and you're running a Final Measure on your team, that would have been kind of cool. But it's actually applying, the 6-piece is going to apply to grenades, isn't it?
Yeah. They've
So what
they've just made the 6-piece. They've made anti-short bow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So you like depending on what, like, it just stops people spamming grenades basically, because you can, if someone chucks an EMP grenade at you, you're gonna get, your whole team's gonna get an increased skill power by 15% for 8 seconds, which is just gonna yeah. And there's other ones. Do you want to?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
If someone throws a fire grenade, that means, and you defuse it, your whole team will get a weapon damage increase, which is going to be awesome as well. And then the last one was flashbang or tear gas grenade, going to give you an armor increase if you defuse that.
So
It's awesome.
are we going to see people use less grenades in like Last Stand? I know this will be great in PvE, but we're coming from a PvP standpoint, I guess. Obviously, that'd be great in legendary modes and things like that. But I wonder if that applies to Clear Sky.
Yeah, I guess it would have to, wouldn't it? I don't know what mortars would give you. I guess that would be like a weapon damage.
I don't know if it would. Interesting. And yeah, the fact that it actually applies to the whole team is pretty cool as well, instead of just yourself. And apparently they fixed the bloody, what's it called? The bug that diffuses your own grenades.
Friendly diffusion.
The best.
Yeah.
But yeah, final thoughts on the rewards for global events, Rob. I think it's better than the tactical COD piece. I think that's fair to say, with the extra stat boost.
I don't know. I think you're on par, to be fair. But yeah, no, it's good. It's, yeah, like I said, it's basically a gear score increase without increasing the gear score. So it means all your exotics are still viable, and you're basically getting a refresh of all your favorite gear sets. What more could you ask for?
But not only that, we're getting something else with this as well, depending on how the PTS goes. Obviously, they're going to balance everything. But, dude, we're going to see new matters come out of this. I'm saying now we need, and I mean this in a nice way, I'd like to see more loadout slots. Because, I saw a post on Reddit the other day. Someone was like, is 6 loadout slots enough? And someone was like listing like 12 different builds that they've got across like 3 different characters. I know that's my own fault for not running enough characters, but this is going to make even more diversity, because the only thing I will say, do you think this is going to, not completely, but kill off like Hexo builds?
No.
No?
No.
That's the thing, you have so much...
I think they're going to maybe transformed a little bit, but they're still going to be there. I'm really looking forward to seeing like how this plays out in the next, obviously over PTS, but when this actually goes out on final release in update 1.7 into the world, onto consoles, onto PCs, for everyone to just use, you're going to see some very interesting, diverse gear sets. I would have said, would you agree? Yeah.
Or like gear setups, because you can have like Sentry. I'm wondering what they're going to do with Hunter's Faith. Is Hunter's Faith going to get this as well, or is it just a few of them that have been mentioned?
They're only doing 6 in the PTS.
Is it only 6? Is it
PTS? Right, okay. To begin with, and then I think
we might see some more during 1.8, maybe. We never know. But
hopefully they'll bring them all out before then. But
yeah, I'm trying to think. 1.8 could drop anytime between September and March. So it's still a fair few months away, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's still time. However, we've got some PTS news that will actually affect some build diversity. Something I think you were very happy about this week, Rob. The fact that the biggest news I think that came out of this week's State of the Game is that the Ninja Backpack Messenger or Ninja Messenger Backpack.
Oh man,
pack
I've
isn't
just
completely
been,
useless.
Yeah, I've just been like thinking about all the shit you can do with this. It's gonna be awesome, but
I want to see.
Wait.
I want to see the builds like Matt Goes Buck and some of the other guys in our community come up with.
Yeah,
because like this. Okay, so what is the actual Ninja Backpack is getting basically reworked. And what is it actually going to become?
It's a wild card for gearsets, basically. So if you've ever played Uno, you'll know what that means. But basically, so you can slot it in. Say you've got a 3-piece of Alpha Bridge, you can now put the Ninja Backpack, and that will make that 4-piece. But also, it can be a wild card for 2 gear sets, or even 3 gear sets, or even, did they say 5 gear sets? So you could have 5 2-pieces.
I don't know if it goes as far as.
No, that's what Terry said on the. He said that on the State of the Game.
So it basically adds. So what I'm taking from this is it basically adds whatever you've got. So if you've got 5 different pieces, it will allow an additional bonus per gear set added. Is that right?
Yeah. So if you're one of those guys that have just started the game and have just got loads of higgledy-piggledy gear to get your best stats, you just stick a Ninja Backpack on and you're OP as fuck.
That's a very good point. It's a shame they took it out of the game and you can't farm it now.
I've got 2 sat in my stash and they're both fairly well rolled, but they're probably going to get re-rolled anyway, so that doesn't matter. But I just imagine you can have 3-piece Banshee and 4-piece Predators. So you get the Predator bleed with 8% extra damage on your ARs and SMGs. Ooh, it's gonna be good. There's loads of shit you could do with Alpha Bridge. And that's just 2 of them that I can think of.
Okay, so here's a question I got for you. Do you think this is actually going to make it into update 1.7? Because obviously this is going to get a PTS. Finally, obviously get it on consoles, which is going to be awesome. So everybody's
going to cry.
Well, everyone's obviously going to test it, but I'm already seeing comments like, we're not going to get Ninja Backpack in the game because it's going to be too hard to balance, things like that. I would hate for them to stop it from working altogether, but it might be in need of locking off with certain gear sets, which I'm hoping people are going to test the shit out of this.
Well, no, yeah, because thing is, they would have noticed already because they've already tested it, because they've already tested the builds, aren't they? Because they already realized that Striker's OP, and they've having to rework what the 6-piece bonus is. So they would have tested this already. They wouldn't have said, "Oh, we're doing this," if it was stupidly overpowered. It might still be OP, but
I guess it depends how much testing has actually been done to it internally. We don't know what the testing process. We don't know how long they've been testing it.
But bearing in mind, if you've got 5 gear sets and 1 exotic, you've no longer got your Savage gloves. You've no longer got your MC's got skull gloves. You've no longer got your vigorous chest. You've no longer got.
Or do you?
The backpack, the other backpack that people use, I can't remember what it's called. Specialized, that's it.
But this could change everything because you can run Ninja Backpack, you can run Savage Gloves, and you can run Barrett's Chest, yeah? And you can run 3 different pieces and then get the bonuses.
Yeah, I guess.
you get the additional bonus from each. I'm trying to think, so you can have like, was it 3-piece tack gives you skill haste?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Trying to think what else.
So you could have two tack and then one of something else, maybe striker to get that extra 10% stability.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. This could go either way, and I love how they're like, we're going to throw this in. We know it's probably going to be OP, and we don't give a shit. We want you guys to try it out and break it, basically. And I love the fact they're admitting that now to let the community know, because you know what's going to happen. Oh, they've put this in the game. It's broke everything. Blah blah blah. It's like, calm down. They know. That's why it is in the freaking PTS. You know.
All right.
I think that's enough from the Ninja Backpack.
Do you want to talk about Seekers?
Seekers. Everyone's loving Seekers, by the sound of it. Still a problem. Obviously, people aren't too happy with the changes that they made in 1.61. There's a few bugs that have gone alongside it as well, which is causing hassle for players in the community. So what the guys over at Redstorm have decided to do is increase Seeker damage by 200%.
Yeah.
If only that was true. They don't want to make it worse for you guys. They want to make it better. So I didn't quite understand this. I was kind of preoccupied with my son whilst trying to watch the state of the game. But they said something about they want to rework it to allow different mods and unmodded versions of the actual Seeker mine.
But the airburst is going to deal 60% less damage, like
yes,
mains damage or whatever it is, and the unmodded version is going to have that damage.
So what's the max you can get on a Seeker on attack build? What's the max damage you can get? Like max. So if you're running, what's the maximum skill power you can run? Was it 400 or higher than that? I've seen higher than that. You're only going to, even if you're running all that, you're only going to be actually having 40% of the damage that you would get currently.
What does the unmodded Seeker do? Just one explosion, right? So it's basically just going to be a rolling on the floor, one explosion, like a BFB, I guess. And to be able to one shot with that, you're going to have to invest a lot of skill power. So you're basically going to be glass skill, which is, it's good. It means
skill players are still viable.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I've said before, I don't want skills to be at a point where they're overtaking weapons. And I mean, they said the complete opposite on the state of the game, and that's fair enough. I mean, they obviously have a different view to us and different vision for the game, but the fact that they're still trying to make everything viable whilst not completely killing it, if that makes any sense, I like that idea. I still think like Seekers in some ways should be, you're doing some damage, or like you're staggering, not so much staggering because they remove stagger, but like you're doing a bit of damage and then you're finishing off, or like you're getting into a gunfight with somebody if you're in PvP circumstances. But obviously PvE is completely different. Anyway, different idea.
Sorry, they also said something about when you pop a med kit, you're going to get like a immunity for a little while, so you can get out of the flames, not just set yourself on fire again.
Yeah,
but I guess this is all subject to change.
Yeah, we're just going to have to see how this kind of plays out in the PTS. I think the only thing that I really like, well, not the only thing, but one thing that I really did like was actually how they tested Seekers. So the fact they just got like 2 teams of 8 or a team of 8 going up against like people that didn't run Seekers and just got absolutely demolished or something like that, or demolished other players with like OP Seeker builds. It kind of sounded like our hero idea that we had on Ideas for Massive the other week.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I read something interesting on Reddit as well. Like a solution would be to make Seekers a little bit like an ult, where if someone pops one on your team, there's like a cooldown until someone else can pop one, so you can't have 8 people popping them all at once. But in our stand, for instance.
Trying to think whether you could have. I mean, it'd be kind of cool if you had like some kind of flare system, maybe that you could chuck out, depending on what the seekers actually go off. Because if they're going off like heat tracking, it depends on the lore of the game, I guess. At the end of the day,
right, like a decoy.
Yeah, like a decoy. Like fighter jets have. So like when they're getting attacked by missiles, they fire up flares.
I get
kind
you.
of cool if you, or if you're having fucking. Excuse me. If you're running seekers as well, or
what, like have them track each other?
Well, not even that. I was trying to think. Like
having a shell behind you in Mario Kart. It blocks the other shell.
You know how your seeker stays with you until like it comes across an enemy. What if your seeker stayed with you until it but you have like a flare version that it basically repels normal seekers?
Yeah,
if that makes sense. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, they could do that. Like have it as a defense against it, but then
yeah, but then it's kind of like I kind of would have liked because I think Airburst is the only real problem with seekers at the minute. I would have liked Airburst to become like shock seekers, but I know you and Luke aren't too keen on that.
That would be horrible.
But I'd quite like them to be shock seekers that you can only use on rogue agents.
Also horrible.
But yeah, it's fine. It's a completely different idea, but yeah. I think just before we end this week's news, a couple of things that were mentioned. They kind of discussed why things from 1.61 have not been changed yet. And it's basically everything's in progress, everything's being fixed, and they're trying to get it out at once by the sounds of it.
Well, yeah, because it costs money to do a client patch.
Yeah, I think I heard it was like 40k per client patch, which is obviously free on PC. But
and how many have they done? We're on 1.6.1 right now.
Yeah, they've done a few.
That's
a lot of money. And they discussed testing on the PTS. They basically said, break everything, not just one thing. I might throw a tweet to the guys at Massive and over at Redstorm and basically ask for a list of like what they want testing on a week-to-week basis, or if they could actually do that before the PTS drops. I think that'd be really cool. But obviously it depends how long the PTS runs for, but it'd be. I think that
that would involve them giving away what they're releasing, Mike. So that might not happen.
No, but as in like,
like test this thing we haven't told you about yet. Oops.
Well, you never know. Hopefully, we might find out some more next week. But I think that's it. I'm really happy with the reward. It's a lot better than what I thought, and it's not just one thing we're chasing. It's multiple things over multiple months by the looks of it. Really cool. Luke, what do you think? I'm joking. He's not here.
Good joke. Well done.
Terrible.
Right. On the inside.
So this week's idea for Massive, it's my turn this week, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah, but you cheated.
I kind of cheated. Basically, my idea for Massive this week was given to us through a question. So the question came from the Spaniard over on our Discord, and he basically asked, what do you think of the idea of a hunter for each player in a group at an extraction, and maybe one hunter spawning in a map section for every player that goes manhunt? Now, I want to, I'm not going to answer that, because I'm going to basically turn it into my own idea. And I want to basically bring hunters into the LZ, into landmarks that we kind of discussed, I think, the other week. We wanted landmarks in the open world.
Yeah.
I think we were about faction wars and stuff like that. Now, I know this is going to pretty much cause some controversy, because I know Luke is not a big fan of having hunters outside of survival, because survival is paid content. But I kind of think now everybody's got their money's worth with regards to the season pass. Personally, season pass, that content should be free for everyone to play, especially with the dwindling player base. If people found out how much content was absolutely free, they would go straight ahead and pick up the Division because they ain't got to worry about a season pass on top. Anyway, that's completely besides the point. So I want to bring hunters into the LZ. Well, how am I going to do this? I would like legendary style hunters in either landmarks or in perhaps in place of where some of like the named bosses are. And these would be available for players whether you play as a solo player or in group play. But I want them to be harder than the hunters that you get in survival. Only slightly, but enough to give you a bit of a challenge when you're doing it. And basically, the idea would be that the hunters, if you kill one of these hunters, they would give you, I'm not sure what the percentage would be because I haven't quite decided, but it'd either be like a 10% or a 25% XP boost to the player in PvE activities or DZ activities. So you'd get like DZ caches or field proficiency caches a lot quicker than you normally would. And or increased percentage of Phoenix credits earned. And this would be for like the week. So and it would be like a maximum percentage that you could get. So maybe you could have, I don't know, you kill 10 hunters to reach the maximum of 100% buff because each one is going to give you 10%.
Similar to like
buff.
the Nightfall buff, but like it stacks, yeah?
Yeah, basically you stack how many you kill. And they're, I'm not sure whether to have them like permanently in the dark, not in the dark zone, in the LZ, so you can like farm them all at once, or if you have them randomly spawn throughout the LZ at random times of the day.
Can I just put my 2 cents in? What if, because people do this a lot, you know, when you go and farm the LZ bosses, right? For those sweet MC gloves. What if randomly when you kill a boss, that triggers a hunter to try and chase you down?
That would be pretty cool. But you, instead of chasing you down, you have to fight. It's kind of like, I'm guessing, Pokemon Go. You're just walking past it, and it's like, no, okay. I don't know what that how you can play that game. It's fine.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. Please don't Pokemon Go. But like the idea for me is, I think the idea of hunters is really cool, and having them outside. And I know from a lore standpoint of view, it could be like, I don't know, a hunter's escaped, and you've got to track it down and kill it. And it's a person at the end of the day. It's kind of weird. But I like the idea of like getting a buff for currencies, because like, you know, we've got all these gear sets and we're trying to be diverse, and it all costs currency. And I know you can go rerun missions, and we're all going to be doing it because of like global events and things like that. How cool would it be if, like, you know, you're doing like a couple of missions or weeklies, and then you get like a hunter spawn on the map, and then you can take down the hunter and you can choose, all right, okay, so I'm running low on Phoenix credits. I can apply the buff to that. Or you can apply the buff to, you know, I play a lot in the Dark Zone. I'll go, you know, I need more Dark Zone funds. Let's, you know, apply a buff to perhaps how many DZ funds you get or something like that. I think having something that would maybe reduce the grind for currency a little bit more, whilst bringing hunters into the LZ would be kind of cool. But I mean, that's just my idea, I guess, for this week.
Leaderboards, like weekly, how many hunters you killed.
Yeah.
Add a little bit of competitivity to it.
But it would literally last for a week. And once you got to the end of the week, that would be it. It'd reset. And I do kind of like the idea of having it random, so you don't farm them all at once. You have to play it, and if it appears, you have to go chase it down. I really kind of like that. Because that way you're not like stacked at 100% for the whole week. Obviously, if you play it like all freaking day, you could probably be stacked, if you know what I mean. You could probably be at that maximum 100% for like increased buff for the entire week. But like if you had, I don't know if I'd have a high like 100% buff for like Phoenix credits, but say you got an extra, I don't know, 20 or 30% Phoenix credits per activity that rewards Phoenix credits. That would be pretty cool. It just increase how many times you're having to run something and less of the grind. And then, because obviously everyone needs like Phoenix credits for rerolling weapons and things like that.
You'd have to be a bit careful though, because not all the currencies are scaled the same way. So, like putting 100% on like Phoenix credits is going to be different to putting 100% on like normal credits.
Yeah,
But
I think
it's a good idea though.
I think Phoenix credit, not so much Phoenix credits, DZ credits and XP. So if you have like XP, think about it this way: you have 100% XP boost for and you have 100% boost to applied to XP. XP does field proficiency caches. You could put together a build that buffs the amount of XP, because you can have XP builds. I had it with like a defense build, go rerun like a certain mission so many times, and you would have so many field proficiency caches drop in, which would increase what? What do you get from field proficiency caches?
Loot.
Not only that, what's included in that loot?
Phoenix credits.
That as well, but very high chance of
exotics.
That's the one. So you're increasing like the player
cheese
wanting to do, the amount of cheese that you want to get.
Cheese.
The only other idea, instead of having like a buff for currencies, a way to change it is I kind of like the idea that they're bringing in with classified gear caches, where you have to run like the events to get tokens, to get classified gear caches. The only other way I could see this working is if you kill a hunter, you get a token, and you can basically go and buy a specific gear cache. So you can go buy like a final measure cache, but it could give you any of the 6 pieces that are included with any random stat. But you definitely get a piece, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, final thoughts.
It's a good idea. I like it a lot.
Okay. Well, that's this week's idea for Massive. And that's pretty much it from us this week, I think.
Another long episode. How did we do that?
I have no idea. There's a lot to talk about, I think. But yeah, Rob, where can listeners find us?
You can find us at Super Radio on Twitter and Facebook. Tweet us with the hashtag TeamSitRep, as we're affiliated with that hashtag. And if you have any questions or feedback for the show, send them to the email address sitradiopod@gmail.com. You've changed that. How dare you?
You did very good as well. You didn't screw out.
That confused me slightly.
You can find SitRep Radio on the following platforms: iTunes, Apple Podcasts on iOS devices, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Overcast, Stitcher, Player.fm, Pocket Casts, RSS feed. And while you're there, give us a subscribe, rate, and please review us. That'd be awesome, guys. And while you're doing that, or if you feel like it, go over and check out Mash Those Buttons over on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Go and check out some of the other podcasts that are available as part of the Mash Those Buttons family.
And don't forget, you can always check out the episode and the IFM on YouTube. And leave a comment and subscribe if you want. You don't have to, but be nice.
Oh, that's awesome. We've been getting a few comments on some of our stuff that we've been posting up on YouTube, and we thank you for checking it out. Also, check out the Division Elites Facebook group, who's actually supporting us, Sean Winder, who's allowing us to post our podcast over there and anything else we do. So go check them out. Also, anyway, that's it for SitRep Radio this week. Thank you once again for listening, and we'll catch you in the dark zone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.